On our flight to Florida, scenery outside resembled sweet candy, with thin clouds accidentally clinging to the blue canvas and bushes as playful touches. This vast field lacks urban hustle, replaced by rural tranquility. This thrilling road concealed past joys and sorrows, filled with hopes for the future. After several twists, they finally arrived at Mrs. Tennis Empire. In this place of light and shadow, talents from across the nation gather, mingled with folks claiming to be diplomats, Messi told Richard. The funds for the big and small VS came from these rich-looking yet talentless youths, and he built a court specifically for the two sisters. He even mapped out a perfect career path for them, but it looked pretty much the same as the previous coach's plan. This path also means growth through youth matches, as top stars' glory comes from this route. However, before Messi could finish his grand vision, Richard interrupted him, letting him know that this group of athletes would not be participating in any youth competitions. Messi felt a bit frustrated but was at a loss. After all, he signed the contract, and just to serve the ball, they had to wait over 3 years. Big and Small V never skipped training, though they've never competed. Their fame didn't wane from the long match hiatus, thanks to Richard's daily media hyperbole. Reporters questioned if his plan hindered his daughter's growth. Richard retorted she was thriving. Now, Big VS speak 4 languages, but can you, a reporter? Unable to stump Richard, reporters bombarded Big VS with questions. The captions read, "These tricky questions left Big V somewhat unprepared, which greatly angered Richard. However, what Richard was unaware of was that, after undergoing 3 years of training, Big V had already been fully prepared for a transformation. With the upcoming International Youth Cup on the horizon, he was bursting with anticipation and begged Messi to persuade Richard to let him play. In fact, Richard had the same intention because he recognized Big V's desire for competition and his burning motivation. However, a sudden news break changed his mind. Messi's 12-year-old German prodigy Jennifer. She ran away from home due to the pressure of competition, and the police found her private life in a mess, even accusing her of flyer consumption. For Richard, this was the result of competing yet ignoring education. He wouldn't let his daughter repeat Jennifer's mistake, triggering Messi's pent-up anger. It wasn't just the coach. Even family members struggled to understand his actions. His usually supportive wife voiced her discontent for the first time, accusing him of being overly obsessive and too dictatorial. Whether you admit it or not, we've done our part. This is your daughter's life. Let her make her own choices. His wife's sincere words deeply moved Richard. His years of authoritarianism deprived his daughter of many choices, so he explained his obstinacy to her that night. He recounted being beaten by white kids as a child, seeking his father's help, but only seeing him flee in panic. I may not be the perfect father, but everything I do is to protect you, since every choice you make represents not just yourself, but the future of all black girls. The father-daughter bond was thus resolved, and the bed, shielded by paternal love, was finally ready to soar. News of Big VS return after 3 years rocked the tennis world, drawing countless spectators. All wanted to know if he was a genius or just self-promoting. On match eve, Nike offered a $3 deal, valid only tonight. Once the game starts, the contract becomes void. Just a flick of a finger could easily pocket $3 million and take life to a new level. Although both the coach and Richard were tempted, they handed the decision-making power to Big V, who promptly turned it down without hesitation. Confident in his skills, he knew his value far exceeded $3 million. Yet on match day, pressure and inexperience made him lose 2 straight games. He tried resetting his mindset, but was still overpowered by his opponent, causing Nike's agents to leave early, feeling disheartened. Only his father nearby signaled him to relax and keep an open stance. Understanding what his father meant, he began to close his eyes, recalling past moves and the sweat that came with training. The weight on his shoulders reminded him not to stop. After adjusting, he surged ahead, catching every tricky serve from his opponent. From there, he gradually hit his stride, displaying his accumulated skills effortlessly. At this moment, his sweat nourished his soul, and the retreating opponent looked overwhelmed. Found eomat et letter 3ca a circumflex eomat 3 omat until the letter 2pd eomat ugrov the plus or minus a circumflex diam panets and tunda retroflex a quarter mud 3 omat eomat u acute igrov letter 763 copyright. When asked if she feared facing the world's top tennis queen Sanchez, she replied with full confidence. Before the match, the brand hiked the fee from $3 to $4 yet was rejected by the pair. because the next day's match would be the greatest comeback in sports history. Early the next morning, Richard found the gloomy little Y on the court. He understood her troubles and capabilities, saying, "I know it's tough under your sister's shadow. I let you into pressure because you're not strong enough. I know you're resilient, full of fight. One day, this court will be yours." As night fell, the Oakland arena donned a cloak of darkness, and the thrilling match began. That night, Big V stepped into the battleground excitedly, carrying a beam of spotlight with her. Outside the field, Richard seemed calm, as if he had foreseen the path to victory, and indeed, the situation on the court unfolded just soon after a start. Big V overwhelmed her opponent with relentless defensive counterattacks. One fierce assault after another smashed the opponent's defense with an unstoppable momentum, crushing their spirit. After all the hardships, the path should be blooming, yet Sanchez called a timeout at his coach cue, using his classic stalling tactics. The flip-flopper held up in the restroom for a full 15 minutes, slowly draining Big V's hot streak.